Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Cooper. Hello, hello. I hope that you guys are having an amazing start to your week. I wanted to have this conversation because it ended up being something that earlier today, when I was doing some personal development, I heard a one-liner that I've heard many times before. And I also was diving into some of my homework with my brand new mentor. And I'm so excited about what is yet to come. Oh my God. You guys, this is going to help so many people, so many of you that are growing businesses online, trying to make ends meet, trying to get really strong at your sales and closing, and mastering your time where you're not like burning at both ends and like falling short in lots of areas in your life because you're trying to build business at the same time. In any event, I'm just so excited about what we're building and efforts to help you in those areas because I've heard you loud and clear. I know that those are things that lots of you guys are challenged with, and quite frankly, I want to help. So with that being said, I was doing some studying with my brand new mentor that I literally just pulled the trigger. We're going to start cranking some things out right now. But he said it too. He said this one line, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay, I heard it from him. I heard it in my personal development from someone else. It's a line that I have heard from many, many years now, and there's so much truth to it. And it got me thinking today, oh my gosh, I literally think this could be a very significant reason that most people are not advancing the way they wish they could be in their businesses. Want to know what that one liner is? By the way, friends, if you're tuning in, please say what's up, Coop. And if you're catching this on a replay, drop hashtag replay in the comments and let me know where you're hearing this. Facebook, YouTube, my personal group. Are you hearing it on a podcast? Get in my inbox and let me know, just because I'd love to connect more with you all. And I like to know where you guys prefer to consume your content these days. So here's the one-liner, friends. Are you ready? And drop this in the comments when it clicks and when it hits. How we do one thing is how we do everything. How we do one thing is literally how we do everything. Now, because I've heard this from so many different experts and so many, mega giants in the entrepreneurial space, and as recently as my brand new mentor that I just hired, literally there is something to it. And I really feel, and we're going to get into this conversation a bit because I really want to provide some context to it, and also how it hit home with me in the event that it affects you the same and perhaps gives you a good perspective here, and why this one thing, how you do one thing is how you do everything. That one notion, how it's affecting your ability to advance your business. Okay. Does that sound good to you guys? Is that cool? Drop a heck yes in the comments if that's cool with you guys. Because I know we got people watching, but I really would love to connect. I never like to talk at you. I like to talk with you and connect with you, and mull over all the things so that we can make our day and our week and our months even better than they are now. So here's what we mean, friends. When we think about that line, how we do one thing is how we do everything. What I feel, and it is a huge hindrance in people's ability to progress in their business, is that they've got incongruency throughout their life. Okay. It's not just about business. They're living an incongruent lifestyle, if that makes sense, my friends. So what I mean by that is, perhaps you're putting all your eggs in your business basket, but because you're doing all that, maybe over here in your personal life, things are falling a bit short because you're focused so much over here on the business side. Okay. And maybe you're focused so much on your personal life and your social life and making sure that you don't lose any friendships, and you're putting so much weight into this that you find that you're not putting the time and attention and energy into your business, right? It's almost like, spinning one of those little, like spinning a dreidel. I think that's what they call them. Is that what they call it? The little spinny tops that you spin fast and then eventually they topple over. My friends, I want you to picture all the important things in your life, almost like they're spinning, like on that little spinny thing, like they're spinning on a plate. And if we're heavier in one area focused than we are in another, what that does is kind of like make it all like rock off kilter. You know what I mean? It like rocks off off its axis. So let's give some context to this. If anybody did that hit home? Is anybody like heavy in one area than you are perhaps in another? And if you're in business, I'm willing to bet, especially if you are a really driven, really like go-getter, full throttle type of entrepreneur, sometimes you may find that you're so focused on that perhaps you haven't, gone for a run or gone to the gym or put some attention into your exercise and your healthy lifestyle. Has that ever happened? I know personally, that's what happens with me. When I get in tunnel vision, when I am focused on the tasks at hand, what I find the first two things to go, my social life, because I'm busy making money and busy building projects and, passion projects. And the second thing is my exercise. And, I always say that's a big reason why I became a Les Mills, a group fitness instructor and taught multiple programs, was because I got paid to be there. So I had to be there. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Nice to see you. So literally, my friends, we're going to talk about this whole notion of how we do one thing is literally how we do everything. And I believe that it is the reason that most people are not where they want to be in business right now. And they're not developing the way that they wish and desire right now. So when we're talking about like an incongruent lifestyle, here's what I mean. Here's an example. When I went to, I think it was back in November, I attended the Arete Syndicate Live with Ed Milet and Andy Frisella. If anybody follows them, my gosh, you know how good they are. It was literally, I've never been a part of anything like that before. And I can promise you that I have been to some very, very big events. I have been to dozens and dozens of national sales meetings in the last, 20 plus years in my working career, both in corporate America as well as the network marketing profession. I've traveled the world and heard unbelievable speakers, but there was something different. There was something different about this Arete. And I can't say that I'm surprised. It is what I expected, because I know Andy Frisella, I don't know them personally, like we're not buddies, but I know them, like I know their whole stories. I know the names of Ed's children. I know their backgrounds so through and through that I honestly wouldn't have expected anything less. And that is why it was worth the investment, which was significant to get my butt there and be 5 rows back from center stage, right there on the floor. It was an unbelievable experience. And I actually did a podcast on this as well, my friends. By the way, if I'm not sure if any of you guys tune into my podcast, some people don't even know that I have one. Drop a hashtag crave the clothes in the comments. That is my podcast where if you prefer to pop in an earbud, like I prefer to do that a lot of the time, pop in an earbud as I'm driving to and from, as I'm going around the grocery store. If that's your jam and that helps serve you better, and that's how you can take it in. You guys, Crave the Clothes. You can find it searchable on Apple and Spotify. So I did a podcast on this called My Biggest Takeaways from My Weekend with Andy and Ed, or something like that. And on this whole notion of how we do one thing is how we do everything, what I know to be true about the people that are part of the Arete Syndicate, Ed and Andy's mastermind, very high profile mastermind, very high level mastermind. Like these people are like they are, gosh, they're a different breed. They're like a whole species. It's really, really fascinating, my friends. And what I noticed on this whole idea of how we do one thing is how we do everything, and how it could be the reason that you may not succeed in business, or you may not be progressing like you wish in business right now. What I felt when I was in that room, 5 rows back from center stage, I'm looking left, I'm looking right, I'm looking around me. And I could just, not just what I saw were people paying attention. What I saw were people focused and connected to what was going on around them and amongst them. What I felt was this overwhelmingly high sense of respect and honor for entrepreneurship and the art and the craft and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into being an entrepreneur. I felt it. I felt it in my soul. And another thing I recognized and what I saw was very physically fit people. People that clearly put some time and attention into their health, their well-being, and their overall, I mean, you could just see it. It just oozed out of them. Okay. And so the point of me sharing this is these people are doing their best, not perfectly. None of us do it perfectly, but they are doing their best to strive for excellence, which is what Arete stands for. This is why I expected nothing less when I was there. But they're establishing excellence and congruency across their lifestyle, not just in business. So here's an example. If you feel like you're the type that's a little messy in business, like maybe you sit down to like do your business and you're like, I'm just going to scroll a little bit. I'm going to respond to social media a little bit. I'm going to check in Messenger, see if anyone's messaged me, like meaning it's a little messy. Like you're not very intentional with what you're sitting down to do in your business operations. And guys, I'll be honest with you. I would say for my first year for sure in the medical field, I was so bad. I was so bad, you guys. Like I'm a sales strategist now and a sales trainer specifically for network marketers. But now, even when I was in the medical field, I did sales training for the sales force inside the medical field. But I'll tell you, in the very beginning, I was all over the place. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that I was kind of all over the place in business. Am I hitting anybody? Am I striking any chords? Anybody a little messy in business? Hi, Jane. How are you, dear? Hi, Nanette. Nice to see you, Linda. By the way, friends, you might want to share this with your teams because it very well could be the reason that many of them are not succeeding in advancing their businesses right now. This is a different twist on things, friends. So if you are messy in your business, I'm willing to bet that you might be a little bit messy at home as well. You may not be super like OCD, and I'm not saying you need to be OCD, but you do need to have a degree of organization, a degree. If you feel all over the place in business, I'm willing to bet that you maybe don't have or haven't yet created, because there's the good news is that you still can. You may not have a you may not have created a peaceful environment inside your home, a peaceful space in which to live and to feel and to live life and to love one another and to connect and collaborate with your family. And so, I'm willing to bet if you're messy in business, perhaps you're a little bit messy at home too. I mean, okay, here's the truth. See my bed over there? For those of you watching this on video, that this is my bedroom. My baby is sleeping right now. So this is what I got to do so that she doesn't hear me on the other end of the house. This is what we got to do. But when, I'm going to tell you that I've been making my bed because successful people supposedly make their beds every day. I'm going to tell you that hasn't done a whole lot for me yet. And I've been doing it for like a month, have not noticed any shift at all. However, I am very particular about creating an energy inside my home. Is it perfect? God, no, friends. I've got 4 kids under the age of 8. I've got a 1.5-year-old. It is a dang shit show every day in my house, if I can be straight with you. But I intentionally try every day to make progress inside my home, to declutter if I can. Now, if you a mama of littles, like you're like, dude, there's no such thing. I know, but here's what I do habitually. Every day when I put my daughter in her seat to eat breakfast, this is after we've had her bottle. Every day when I sit her down, I always unload the dishes from the night before. Okay, put the dirty ones into the sink, and I do like a zip through my living room and just kind of tidy a bit. I don't like vacuum and stuff, but I mean, I've stepped on enough Legos to know that I try and avoid that minefield because it hurts. And I scream obscenities, and I have a baby in her ears and she cannot hear me screaming obscenities, which if you a parent, you know what it feels like to step on a Lego. Can I get an amen in the comments? Hi, Kathleen. How are you? Thanks for popping in, friends. So guys, if you're just tuning in, make sure you say, hey. What we're talking about now is one of the biggest reasons I feel could be preventing people from succeeding in business. And that is that how we do one thing tends to be how we do everything. And if we have incongruency, if we're living an incongruent lifestyle, we're going to find that we're suffering in our business. And my goal is to help you kind of create some awareness around it. It's just because where there's awareness, we can make progress, right, friends? And that's what it's about. People are happiest, humans, the human species. Gosh, I swear to God, I legitimately feel that entrepreneurs can cure. Oh gosh, I have to be really careful about what I say here. I believe that entrepreneurs can legitimately, significantly increase the incidence of depression and anxiety all over the world. Okay, report me. It is what it is. Coming from a person who lived their entire life in a shitstorm of manic depressive disorders and anxiety and panic attacks, I am telling you what I know to be true about entrepreneurship is the reason that a lot of us are constantly in a state of managing negativity and squashing it at the root is because and the reason that we are driven and we get into action to create a service that people need, and we monetize that. That's legitimately what entrepreneurs do, or entrepreneurial spirited individuals. And what I know to be true is the human species is happiest and least anxious when they are in progress, when they feel they are making progress. Yes or no? Is that true? Because I want to ask you a question. When you're feeling sad, sick, tired, depressed, what are you usually doing physically? What are you usually doing when you feel that way? Are you taking a brisk walk around the block? Are you pacing around outside in the sun? Are you getting your butt in the car to go to an exercise class, whether you want to or you don't? I'm guessing you're not in progress, in forward motion. What are you usually doing when you feel those things? I know it because I lived in an entire hole of it for most of my life. I'm telling you, all you lovely people that I connect with now, I promise you, you would not have wanted to be friends with me 10, 12 years ago. I promise you this. Anyways, I digress. Back on track. For the record, and nobody's commenting on my answer to that question, but typically when you feel sad, sick, tired, and depressed, you are standing still. You are sitting. You are laying down. You're poorly postured. You're not in motion. You're not in forward progress. And what I know to be true about the human species is that we are happiest and most hopeful and faithful and joy-filled when we feel like we're making progress, not when we are hitting perfection, because P.S., that's not a thing, but when we're making progress. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen, my friends? That's right, Cindy. Cindy likes to go outside and stay active and get fresh air. That's why I always see her walking and huffing and puffing doing her videos. Proud of you, Cindy. We could all learn a thing or two. Hi, Monica. Oh my gosh. Hello, beautiful Monica. Oh, so happy to see you guys. Hi, Penny. Okay. So here's another thing, friends. So think about it. If you're messy in business, take a look at your home life as well. You don't have to be like spick span clean and like, or, washing the crown molding on your floors. That's not what I mean. I mean, create a sense of semi-declutter. Create a sense of peace. Create an energy in the home. By the way, sell your TV. If you're broke right now, sell your TV. Sell every one of them in your house because it's keeping you broke, passive, and poor. Okay? I said what I said. I have a TV in the background, but literally we don't even turn it on. It literally is collecting dust. I don't even know where the remote is. The thing doesn't work. We don't need it. We're not interested in being sick, passive, tired, and poor. So we don't use it. Anyways, so declutter, create peace, create a good energy. The reason I said get rid of your TVs is because your TVs typically are broadcasting things that are designed to keep you sad, that are designed to keep you not in motion. And when you are not in motion at home, friends, you're also going to be not in motion in business. Okay, so let me throw in a couple more things and then we'll jump off because I don't want to distract. I don't want to distract from your time working your businesses, creating your peaceful moments, connecting with the humans and advancing yourselves forward. But are you getting something out of this, friends? Let me know if you're getting something out of this. And again, I invite you to share this with your teams as well. So here's another thing. If you find anybody have a difficult time managing their time, a difficult time managing time. What I mean by that is, do you find yourself like kind of all over the place? And before you know it, you look at your watch and you're like, oh my God, like I literally did nothing. I did nothing. Where did my time go? Have you ever said these words? If I only had more time in the day, if I only had a little more time, my friends, if you are if you do feel that way with your time, you're probably also one of those people that's a fly by the seat of their pants kind of person. Whatever way the wind blows you, I'm just going to see what the Lord has in store for me today. Who's going to cross my path? Yada, yada, yada. If that's you, I would draw some attention to this immediately. Reason being, if you are one of those whatever way the wind blows you type of people, hoping for the signs, praying on some, dreams, if that is you, and that is what you do a lot of with your time, odds are you're going to fall victim to somebody else's plans and agenda. Okay. We need to be extremely intentional with our time. So the more intentional you are with your time and the more of like grabbing it by the horns, and that may mean so-and-so's calling you, oop, decline. Oops, I didn't see that. I didn't get a call. There was no call coming in. Literally, permission granted to ignore your calls, to silence notifications. I have all my Facebook Messenger notifications turned off. They're all off. Why? Because I know me and I don't have discipline in that area. If my phone is lighting up and it's buzzing with messenger requests or questions or whatever, I'm telling you, my time would be a mess. And anyone that knows me knows that I am batshit obsessed with disciplining my time. Why? Because I'm raising babies, friends. I'm raising babies. I'm like a nap time CEO. I don't have time to waste. So I make sure I'm highly disciplined with my time, and that helps me create some congruency in my business. So whatever I do with my personal time, exercise, personal growth, spending time with my kids, I am there. I am not a fly by the seat of my pants. I am not messy with my time. I'm so intentional with that personally because I know it directly affects how I use my time in business as well. Does that help, friends? How we do one thing literally is how we do everything. So if you are like, say you don't do what I do. Maybe you go to work, maybe you're a nurse, a teacher, administrative assistant, maybe you're in, whatever you're doing in business, or I'm sorry, whatever you're doing for work. Clocking in, clocking out, whatever you're doing, good on you. I hope you're happy doing whatever you're doing, because if you're not, that's an awfully long time to spend in your life doing something that does not bring you fulfillment and joy. I'm just going to say that. And by the way, no one's going to come get you out of it. Okay. That's up to you. I help people earn money with their time every day, so they can buy themselves more options. That is my obsession, because the thought of you guys spending all that time at work where you are not fulfilled and joyful, or fulfilled and joy-filled, it literally hurts me. It literally hurts. In any event. So if you find that you're messy at your job, odds are if you're one of those people, it's kind of a mess at work, you might be one of those people that's also fighting for raises all the time, constantly trying to prove your worth, trying to fulfill the job so that you can perhaps get some extra compensation. I've been in jobs before that I felt like I was going to pass out when I wanted to approach my boss and ask them for a 70-cent raise. Okay, this was like way back in the 90s, my first job as a hostess at Ruby Tuesdays. I thought it was the best job ever. I'm like, I get to talk to people. I get to see good food and get good food for free. Well, it wasn't really good food. It was fast food-ish, but you know what I mean. I was so grateful to have a job. But I thought I tried to do so well, but I thought I was legitimately going to vomit when I was going to walk back there and ask my boss for a raise. And, if you are that type that's like fighting for money at work, it's probably translating over in your life, you're probably always turning the price tag over. How much does it cost? How much does that cost? How much does this food cost? How much do eggs cost this week? For the love, give me a break. But if that's you, if you're always turning over the tags to evaluate cost, friends, I want to help you get to a place where you're not thinking about cost, you're evaluating worth. Ed Mylett talks about this all the time, and it is so true. Stop evaluating cost, stop looking at cost, and start evaluating worth. Drop that in the comments, please. That's a solid nugget from Ed Mylett. I want to help you guys stop fighting for money at your job, because what that does is it translates over into your personal life. And then if you translate it over to your side hustle, what that means is you might be operating your side hustle from a place of scarcity, a place of scarce-minded thinking, like I gotta go after these customers. I gotta get them. I gotta get them because, there's not enough money for me. That's what's going on in your mind. And that is not going to help you succeed in your business endeavors, friends. Anyone that has a scarce and coming from a hugely scarce-minded individual, I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like, wondering if I was going to be able to pay rent and feed my 2 cats. When I was working 3 jobs, I was fighting for every penny and barely could make ends meet back in my early adult days. And I'll remember what that felt like. And I know that money didn't start coming to me freely and abundantly until I stopped white knuckling it. And I stopped looking at cost associated with everything. I started thinking in terms of worth. Is that worth my time? Is it worth my energy? Is it worth my investment? You see, friends, money is not the only investment. Time, energy, that all is part of our investment. Time and energy is a huge part of our investment as well. Don't you agree? So in any event, I want you to start thinking as we wrap this up, how can you begin establish, and guys, this is something I work at every day. It's like brushing my teeth. I have to make sure that I'm aware every day of things like my health and fitness, things like my love and relationships with people, and of course, my family as well. Things like my business and my business operations, as well as thinking about money and my relationship with money. Okay. I evaluate those things because that pretty much makes up our entire lifestyle. If you think about it, doesn't that really make up our entire lifestyle? Drop it in the comments. Health, love, business, and money. Or work. You could say health, love, work, and money, because establishing some congruencies around these areas, you're going to find that one spills over into the other. And the better you place some attention and focus on those key things, now your whole life is going to spin much more congruently and evenly. And it's not going to like fall off kilter and throw you off track. I do feel that how we do one thing is how we do everything. And so our disciplines that we have in multiple areas of our lives really and ultimately do affect our disciplines and how we operate our businesses as well. Okay. If you're not receiving and you're not growing at the magnitude you would like to be, I invite you to take a look at those other things in your life and see where there's opportunity to put a little more love and attention into those things to make sure that we're living congruently and not operating incongruently. Incongruency means we're not going to get paid well. Living congruently, probably going to grow your business. Yes? Guys, if you got something out of this, I invite you to share this with your people on your walls, with your teams. And of course, the podcast will be available soon, and Crave the Close on Apple and Spotify. Thank you for hanging out with me. Drop your favorite takeaway below, friends. What helped you with this? And the more feedback I get from you, the better it helps me develop more content around serving you at a more relevant level. Makes sense? I want to share more on what you want to achieve, not what I want to spit out of my mouth and out of my brains. All right, friends, have an amazing day. Love ya. Mwah.